The same week that Michael Moore delivered his infamous speech at the Academy Awards, word leaked out about his next project, Fahrenheit 9/11. The target? President Bush. The film is scheduled for release in the fall of 2004, just in time for the home stretch of the presidential election.
Another miserable election year.
The recent changes in campaign finance laws bring new restrictions on our freedom of speech. But no such restrictions apply to the films of Michael Moore or anyone else in Hollywood. To me, that's a little unfair, and I wondered whether Mr. Moore would agree. Finding out wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to try. This is the fourth day of my Michael Moore stakeout. Here we go. Mr. Moore, would you speak with me for a minute?
Yeah, sure. How you doing?
Wait a minute. I didn't expect it to go down like this. I had it all planned out. He was supposed to run away, just like his victims do. But because he was kind enough to stop and speak with me, I got the chance to ask him a few questions. Your films are more like video editorials almost.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, it's like an op-ed piece in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
These are my opinions. I'm very upfront about them. I don't try and disguise them. I don't try to present them as objective news. They're not. They're very subjective.
George W. Bush is in Bowling for Columbine as one of the fear mongers.
John Ashcroft and his ilk are something to fear. They are stealing our country from us. They were able to actually steal our White House from us.
We are living under a, president.
Commander and thief. We do need to remove Bush in 2004. There's no doubt about that.
Fahrenheit 9/11 may end up being an attack ad against Bush in the form of a movie.
Really?
And it seems to me that...
So you already know what I'm filming in my next movie.
I create my work so that we end up with a country that is being run by a set of values and a political agenda. What if we keep working on two tracks here? Build a Green Party or any kind of third party, alternative party, anything that represents the true will of the majority of Americans, and at the same time, took over the Democratic Party. Democrats and Greens have got to come together and form a coalition and get that guy out of the White House.
You already know what I'm going to film before I film it.
No, but I've gone through your previous work, and I've definitely noticed a pretty strong bias against Republicans and conservatives, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Gingrich and Mr. Lott and the Republican Party owe the American people and the families of those 3,000 dead a huge fucking apology. Me. That's what being a conservative is. Me. 12 long, dark years of Reagan and Bush.
New conservatives, they're not like the old Thatcherites or Reaganites, that kind of screw the poor to hell with everybody mentality. The new compassionate conservative actually cares about his fellow man every now and then.
What better place to fly the Confederate flag than a city that is the home of conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh, William F. Buckley, a Republican mayor, a Republican governor.
If you'd like to learn more about compassionate conservatism, check out the fiction section of your local library.
What better time to come on the air than during the year when we got to watch the Republican Party go down in flames, huh?
People should be aware of your ideology when ingesting...
Oh, absolutely. I make them aware of it. You should take that into consideration.
There is one woman who comes from Chicago who I happen to believe is one hot, shit-kicking feminist babe. Maybe she should be the one who should be president instead of the other guy in the White House.
Given the recent changes in campaign finance laws, people are going to be a lot more restricted about where their contributions go and what their contributions can be used for. That seems to increase the influence of people in Hollywood who are able to put out their political viewpoint in the form of a film. I watched the Oscar speech and I saw the fact that every single nominee was up there on stage in solidarity with your ideas. To me, that's a sign that there's no balance.
in that business. Is there some sort of institutional fear of putting out something that might not be along your lines ideologically? Or
That's a very good question. I think I agree with you. I think that this art form should be open to all people of all political persuasions. It should not just be people who are liberal or left of center or whatever.
Today, liberals dominate documentary filmmaking.
So we're sitting around the other documentary nominees, and I just leaned over to all of them and I said, listen, if for some reason we win in the next few minutes, I'd like you guys to come up on the stage, and all of you. They all said, yeah, great. And I said, but you know, just I want to warn you that I may say something about Bush or the war, so I don't want you to, you know, be blindsided by that or whatever. And I think they were all wearing a peace pin, if I remember correctly. And they were all, oh yeah, no, great.
We all believe in a free press. We just don't own any of the presses.
You want to encourage all voices to be heard, because that's the best way to have to come up with the best decisions in a free society. You don't want just one voice or one, stream of thought, being put out there.
There is no conservative Michael Moore, but the actual Michael Moore thinks there should be.
I certainly don't wait for a Hollywood studio to, give me the green light or say, oh, Mike, you can go make your movie. I just go make my own movies, find my own funding.
You know he's right. Don't you think that with the entire vast right-wing conspiracy at our disposal, we could at least scrape together a few bucks to break this monopoly?
Make your movies. And then the people will respond or not respond to them.
Thanks for the advice, Mike. I consider it a call to arms.
I just went out and did my own thing, like you're doing now.
The conversation was a little contentious at first, but in the end, I enjoyed it. Hell, I'd grab a beer with him sometime. I just have to be careful not to bring up politics.
I exist in the mainstream of majority opinion in this country. The majority of Americans are actually quite liberal on the issues. I know it looks bad because the country has turned liberal. It's the end of this conservative era, and I know it feels bad, and it feels like Hollywood's got the grip on everything and all that, but persevere, make your films, make your TV shows. How'd you know you just missed me?
Well, because I was sitting across the street and I saw you get in a cab.
Oh, not quick enough.
I didn't realize how fast you'd be.
Oh.